everybody, this is Camelia with Start to Launch. I have an amazing guest here today. We have Larry Syid Wright with Pitch Vine, and we're here to kind of get to know him a little bit more about what he does and everything. So we're gonna let him get started with who he is. Tell us a little bit about you yourself in general, who you are.
Hello, my name is Brother Larry Syid Wright. I'm originally from New Jersey. Um, Proud husband to my wife Joy Slade Wright, and a proud grandparent to my two lovely sport girls Jada and Talia. I'm a filmmaker. I'm an activist. Just a loving person. I share love and I give people. I create. I give people the utmost respect, no matter who you are, what age you are, or your affiliation. It's just about love and respect, and I do this just to get that back in return.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So tell us what got you started in filmmaking.
Oh man, in eighth grade, I actually thought I was a theater person because in eighth grade, me and a group of my classmates, we wrote a play for in eighth grade, and it went well. And then um, I got into a little. I always wrote, but I just wasn't really serious about writing. But then I got into a little bit of trouble, whereas I had some time to sit and ask myself what I wanted to do with my life. So I just started writing and writing, and then I just I started doing a little theater here, theater there, and then I just picked up a camera. And it was funny about the camera part. And let me just take back to the theater thing. Is like I do I was a theater writer, but I really wasn't big in doing theater plays. But one night I was sitting home and a friend of mine called me up at like 11:30 in the morning and said, "You need to get to Winston. These people want to meet you." So, this is like 11:30 at night. My wife like, "Where you going 11:30 at night?" I said, "Well, these people in Winston want to meet me because I entered a film festival, which was a national, yeah, yeah. So I entered this film festival, was a National Black Theater Film Festival, which is the largest black theater. Is the it's the if I don't say it's the largest, it's the most well known and the most respected black theater festival in the world. Every other year they had this big festival, so I went down there, man, and I got like the royal treatment. And because I became the first writer from the Triad area, Winston, Salem, High Point, Greenbelt, to ever had their stuff make the A list during the festival.
Wow.
Yeah, and what people didn't understand is that festival really didn't do, it was an international festival, so they didn't really do a lot of local stuff. So when I got picked, the Winston-Salem Journal did an article on me. The News and Record did an article on me. I publishing out of New York City did an article on me. My hometown did an article on me. So for like 3 days, I had like this my 15 minutes of fame, and it was real interesting, and and I had some really interesting people do my play, and the guy that was the butler in Will Smith, the guy that was the butler during the Fresh Prince. He was one of the notable people that sat in. Right,
Jeffrey, right?
right, and he said, "Dude, you have a great eye for writing. You have a great writer's eye because of the story I told, and the story is about the Negro League baseball players." And he said, I like the way you put this story together. It was interesting. So that what got me, do my theater, but I still was trying to push to film. And I met my neighbor. He was going to A&T University, and he was a journalist major. So he would always see me out here with my camera, down here watching my sons. My sons, they play basketball. I would film it and like put a little stuff together. And this cat was like 20 years old, man. He said, "Bruh," he said, "Listen, now I'm 35 years old now. That's why you're never too old to learn. Once people say, you're never, he, and this young cat for 2 years took me under his wing. I mean, I went to the football games, the basketball games. We did parties. Me and him actually filmed Fantasia's first birthday party, which was at the Empire Ballroom in downtown Greensboro. So me and him, we filmed that, and Rico, we did Rico stuff. We done some heavy stuff, man. And he was like, dude, the key to this game is make sure that you're always prepared. So when I talk to people and like with my and we had a program, and I'll get to paper to film later, but when I talk to people, especially in this industry, that's why when I tell people, I said, listen, if you are a writer, or if you are a actor or an actress, always be prepared because you never know who might walk up to you and say, what's your pitch? What's your story? You got 15 seconds, you got 30 seconds to sell me about who you are, your story. And that's how it works in our industry. Because our industry is a here now, going later industry. You know. So and another thing that really, you know, that I don't tell a lot of people is that I cannot keep. I always forget this guy's name. And he was the president of Code Black Entertainment, which is the black side of I'm trying to think of the major studio, but it's like Kevin Hart. He's the president of Kevin Hart's production company now. So me and him, I was in Miami at a film festival, and all I heard him say was, "I'm willing to work with people to give them a chance because somebody gave me a chance." So I was sitting in the Ritz Carlton Hotel on South Beach, chilling. You know what I mean? So I caught him coming through. I caught him coming through. I said, "Yo, brother, let me holler at you." And he was like, "Man, I got." I said, "See," I said, "Brother, can I keep it 100?" He said, "I said, listen, I just heard what you said about giving people an opportunity." I said, "All I'm asking you for is just 1 minute." He said, "Do your thing." Me and that brother talked for an hour. I wrapped him down that bad, and I won't get into the story, but he said, "Listen, Lionsgate." He worked for Lionsgate. He said, "Listen, I want you to get in touch with this person." He gave me the information and everything. He said, "Tell her that you know me and you take it from there." And I was in the position with Lionsgate to really get my foot in the door. But to make a long story short, being selfish, going back to that old drug dealer mentality that I can slick my way through, it caught up with me. You know what I mean? So that was like a learning experience. Whereas if somebody give you the opportunity to do something, take full advantage of it, but put people in your corner and put people on your team that can help you execute that opportunity.
That's
You know,
important. When those opportunities come to you, you do got to be ready, and you do have to make sure that you're able to fulfill it, and you have the right people around you. So, but that still speaks volumes to who you are. You know, a lot. That's why we have the platform. Is to share with people lessons, things you learn, things you need, just different industries across the board. So that's a really amazing story. So tell us what you're doing now. Some of the things, your most recent project or something you want to highlight.
well, I'm always doing something to try to educate, encourage, and just put black people in a better frame of mind that we are, and that just comes through just like understanding where we came from, and appreciating where we're at right now. So I'm doing and I just did a little series called Great Black Speakers, and it was it wasn't it was good. We had some great speakers. You know what I mean? I'm glad they came out. You know what I mean? I'm glad they shared. I had a good group. But now I'm moving on to a film. It's called God Sent, and God Sent is an African American version of. You might not remember this. You might have been young. Highway to Heaven with Michael Landon. Yeah, and it was pretty much this guy comes back and helps, and he's like an angel, and he comes back to help heal people, heal communities, and bring people together. And now there was a show that Della Reese played in with a white lady. I can't remember the name of the show, but it's kind of like a movie where this guy comes back, helps the community. He helps a once thriving community regain his love and self esteem for the community, And he also deals with things that plagues our community every day with the crime, the police situations and stuff like that. And it's a film that's going to really give everybody the opportunity to say, "Hey, man, I can relate to that. This is something that that I need to deal with. It's something that I want people that when they see it, you call their neighbors or call their friends. Look, man, we need to have a community meeting and put our heads together and figure out what we're gonna do, what we can do. If it don't have to be the whole community, what we can do here." Because once you start small, it's like a snowball, and if it's working, this is what not and I'm gonna say this, and I'm not knocking anybody, but when I look at stuff and when I talk about stuff, I look at stuff and talk about stuff strictly from a black perspective because my community is hurting. And it's not that I don't care about other communities. I just know that if I don't, take notice of my community and the faults of our community and our faults, we're not going to get better. And that's why I try to share, the things that I do. And another thing that I'm working on, this is like my pride and joy that I'm working on right now. And I think once we get everything in order, and I won't tell them who's playing the lead, but once we get everything in order, we doing a film. I'm writing this script. Me and my partner Glenn Jones, which he helped me write my first film, which you can see in the back, America Under Fire. We're doing a film about Ella Baker. It's going to be a tribute to her. It's a film, not a documentary. And through all the research, man, and everything that we have come across, I have a greater understanding on why they won't give this lady her props. I have a much greater understanding on why they won't do a film about her because she wasn't the typical yes, and I don't want, but she wasn't the type of woman that was just going to sit around and say yes, boss, no boss, yes, ma'am, and no ma'am.
At all.
That's who white people or black people or anybody,
At all.
you know. So when we have women like and with women like her back in that time, she became a threat because she was she was uncompromised in her stance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, once we get this film done, I mean, the script is coming along well, and we're not gonna dig too much into her whole story because I think it'd be just too much for me to do. But what we dig into, you know what I mean, and how we tell it, I think people are gonna really get a greater understanding, and they will understand why she's not being represented through film like other people are.
Yeah, absolutely. Just learning about her more myself. I could relate a lot to her. She wasn't the only a threat with other races. She was a threat within her own community too.
Right, right. Me
With
and my
men.
yeah, me and my partner was talking today, and he said some real interesting stuff, and we're gonna bring that out in the film. But what what we don't understand as and I'm not gonna say what we don't understand as black men, but I just think that men in general is different now because women are gaining more of self. I don't want to say self respect, but I think they're gaining more of that self confidence now, whereas you
Yeah.
can't tell me I can't do it. But back then, and I don't think it really has. I don't really think it's the man's fault. It's just that the position that people played back then was a position of the man is supposed to do this and the woman is supposed to do this. So, and we're not gonna have a conversation about crossing that line.
Yeah. I mean, I think because back then, with everything going on, not that you shouldn't have order now, because you should have some kind of structure, like whatever works for you to make your house run efficiently, you know. But back then, there was one formula mainly, and you stuck to the script because we had so, like we do today, many adversities, but they had, our adversities are, they're not hidden. But even then, like back then, it was, you had hang lynchings and all these things, people showing up on your grass with burning crosses, all kind of crazy stuff. So you had to have a program, you had to have a system in place for, okay, You do this, I'm gonna do this. That's what it is, and I understand that. I definitely understand that. Um, so tell us, in addition to that, tell us what you first of all, tell us where's your social media. Give us some of that information.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna keep my social media simple. All you gotta type in is Pitchvine Entertainment. If you type in Fishbone Entertainment, you'll see everything that I have done, everything that I'm doing. You know, if you type in Fishbone Entertainment, if you type in Larry Syid Wright, my Facebook will come up, my Instagram will come up, my Twitter will come up. But you just type in Larry Syid Wright or Fishbone Entertainment, and that Syed is SYID, you'll see everything I've done, everything I'm doing, and everything that I'm planning on doing in the future. And I want to say this. You know, I have a program that I'm actually planning on bringing back this summer called Paper to Film. Yeah, that's my plan. I'm trying and of those who going to be listening, please reach out to me and so I can give your kids an opportunity to share their story. Let them tell their story. Now, their story might be a story that make you think about your relationship, but it's their story. And we teach them how to tell their story in a way where it's you can relate, opposed to saying he did this and shit. No, no, we're gonna create a conversation where is people can talk to their with young mothers and fathers can talk to their young daughters and sisters in a way that's constructive. And the best way to get our point across to anybody once they don't want to listen is through art, because art speaks to everybody.
It does. It does. I love that. I love that. So definitely, I'll make sure I highlight that information because I think that's amazing. This is the time to start getting your kids into whatever summer camps or whatever they're going to be in. So I love that idea.
Yeah.
Tell me, this is going to be sorry, the last question. What are some of the challenges? What are or the needs rather? What are some of the needs that you have for your company to run, or some things that you have been lacking? If somebody was listening right now that could help in regards to whatever it is, who would you need to be in place? Like maybe, just whatever.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? And I'm glad you asked that question because, and I'm gonna get to that, but I want to say this: if it wasn't for Kareem, Lamar Alston, and Christopher Hayes, and everybody's been telling me this for years. So Christopher Hayes and Kareem said, "Brother, you do what you do. You let us handle everything else. You bring in who you need to bring in. You let us handle everything else. We got you. Cause all these hats you got sitting behind you, you can't wear them all at one time. Sit down and just let us work with you." So I'm still working on myself on that, but I'm looking for people. I don't care what age they are, long as they want to come and work with me and be productive and learn what and be part of what I do. And I tell people this: some people I can pay, some people I can't. It's just based on what I'm doing. But I am a man of my word. If I say I'm going to take care of you, trust me, I'm going to take care of you. Because one thing about the business I'm in, you have to be honorable, and you have to be straight with people. But if you young, if you older, I don't know if you male, female, I don't care what you is. If you come and you want to learn the art of being a journalist, a filmmaker, a media people, just reach out to me. I'll put something together, and it's going to make my job easy because I won't have to wear 1,000 hats. So, because I kind of keep it simple. So, because I'm a I'm a working teacher. So if you working with me, I'm going to teach you. I'm not one of them people that will ever come to anybody and say, "I got mine. Now you need to get yours, and I'm just going to teach you what you need to know." No, I'm going to teach you and give you everything I got. Because if you become successful in any which way, shape, or form, I'll be proud that I was part of that success.
Yeah, that's good. And you're in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Greensboro, North Carolina, the great state of Greensboro, North Carolina. But let me say this now: my heart, my heart is Penns Grove, New Jersey. That's where I'm from. That's my heart. And That's my heart.
Okay. I'm feeling that. Always got to rep where you from. So that's amazing. So when people reach out to you, they don't particularly have to have a certain skill set, but you want people that are willing to work, willing to help with the vision that you have currently, and willing to learn.
Yeah.
All different ages, and just to kind of know the purpose of what you have going on. It's for the community. It's
I I'm really into supporting my community, but I'm willing to work and support anybody. Just because I focus on my community, because I think that's what I need to do as an African, as an African American, because I am a black nationalist. I am pro black, and I have to explain to people what that means. All that means is that I believe in supporting my community first before I have to go outside of the community and seek their help. But I don't mean that I won't work with anybody, I won't train with anybody, because once I said before, art is the opening door to creating dialogue with anybody.
right. That's true. That's true. And I love that. I love that. I love that. And I heard this one saying when I was looking at your stuff. You say one particular phrase, and it's something like keep the. And I just want to kind of
You already know what it is. Get the black mind right.
keep the black mind right, y'all.
Get the black mind right.
The Thank you so much. Look, y'all, if you want to learn more, get involved. That's what this platform is for. Reach out to Larry Syid Wright. It is Pitchvine. If you entertainment, if you go online, you can search him, participate. This is about community. This is about the kids. This is about culture. This is about future. So reach out. We're here in Greensboro, North Carolina, with Larry Syid Wright with Pitchvine Entertainment. Thank you.
Oh, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye bye.